All right, taking a look at the paint. This should be a quick video taking a look at all the paint schemes in numerical order, starting with Wednesday Addams. Pretty bare bones paint job. All the Toyotas have the TRD decal on them, and also Craftsman Truck Series and the Yoo-Hoo Pole contingency decals. And there's Wednesday Addams up there. I think I gotta zoom out. Second one's Bigfoot. This is pretty much the same kind of paint scheme as the actual Bigfoot monster truck. And Firestone was a sponsor on the monster truck. Yeti coolers because of Sasquatch. And then Jack Links messing with Sasquatch. Yeti coolers again. Monster Jam on the front. I've even through a couple races here, I've grown to really like how this paint scheme looks on the track. Third is Walker Texas Ranger. Of course, this is Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt's Wrangler car. Texas flag on there. And the Department of Public Safety for the Texas Rangers. And I Buy Power, you'll see that rain. That's just one of the icons, one of the decals I grabbed to modernize these a bit. Joe Dirt, Dirt Devil, and this is pretty much a exact replica of Kenny Wallace. And tell you what was a pain was trying to find. That's not going to zoom in, but trying to find this Buy Royal, because it was a pain in the butt to find. Because the logo doesn't really exist anymore. So what I ended up doing was going to Dirt Devil eBay manual. Or maybe not even, yeah. This is pretty much what I used. And I clicked through these pages. It was like an older frickin' manual. Now I want to find it. Yeah, it was something like this, and I don't know if this is actually going to be in here. Yeah, I think I basically just grabbed the screenshot and used it like that. So that was a little trick I had to pull. But all the decals and everything is pretty much a replica of it. And there's Joe Dirt with the cigarette pointing at the camera. I just wanted a shot where he was looking right at the camera. That was the best I could do. This is Daenerys Targaryen, armor all, medieval times down here. And Snapdragon. Wanted a Snapdragon paint scheme, and then I was like, let's go with like armor, medieval armor. And that's actually modeled after Neil Bonnet's car back in the day. Mark Martin, pretty much an exact replica of his 1997 car. Conan O'Brien, this was just a random thing I came up with, or it might be from a current, I don't know. I was slinging and zinging. There's a couple of paint schemes that have attributions on them that I asked if I could use a paint scheme that someone made, But Irish Spring down here, Conan Needs a Friend, his podcast, all that. Darth Vader, Empire Today. And then I just threw some random decals on there. Nothing special about this truck. Newman, this was another paint scheme. Oh yeah, this is one Chevy Price Designs. This is one that somebody made, and then I asked him like, hey, could I use that for my little stupid series? He's like, yeah, I don't care. So yeah, Newman has the postal uniform and some Seinfeld references down here. Risk. He drinks Mellow Yellow, Drake's Coffee Cakes, Kenny Rogers Roasters. Tombstone. I originally had this paint scheme looking like the sun on the side, and it just didn't look right. So then I just found some zigzag paint scheme inspiration. Nothing special about the associate sponsors, but Huckleberry Lemonade. We'll eventually see he has a Huckleberry Lemonade truck that I'm not going to show yet. But that's one of his alternate paint schemes later this season. And there he is. You know what Huckleberry means if you've seen Tombstone. Here's Godzilla, and it's pretty much the same exact decals and paint scheme as Bigfoot, his teammate. And it's the only driver that I couldn't put a head in because it looked really silly with Bigfoot trying to put Godzilla in there. And nothing else going on with that one. Smokey the Bear. This is one of the first ones I made. I'm trying to think. They changed this. Only you can prevent forest fires, and then they changed it. Only you can. I forget what they changed it to. U.S. Forest Service, USDA Department, and then the Reduce, Reuse, Recycle logo there. I think that's what that is. Oh man. Pete Rose, the late addition to the field. He took Dennis Eckersley's spot, and it's really bright. But all I put on here was FanDuel, gambling. Not as bright, but same white kind of truck. Julius Caesar. I was thinking about doing Little Caesars. If I have time, I might make a alternate paint scheme for him. But I did have Little Caesars down here, and then there was actually a like A2 Brute. There's something called A2 salad kits. Food Lion, Lion, Coliseum stuff, and Julius Caesar with the toga on. Don't do it. Referencing Don't Stab Me in the Back, obviously. Cardi B, that's Bacardi. That was Daryl Waltrip's car. I don't know why. I don't know why I picked it for her. But it ends up being a pretty decent paint scheme. I don't know why she's pink. I think she wore pink in that WAP video. I don't know. I forget why I did that. But nothing special about any of the associate sponsors there. Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, Food Lion, makes sense. She also has a Ruby Tuesday paint scheme that she'll be using later in the season. Technicolor, because Wizard of Oz used Technicolor, I think. It was one of the first. I can't remember. And Yellow Brick. That's just some random startup company logo that I found. And so I went with that. Albert Einstein, no inspiration for this paint job. Just I saw the circle of the Einstein Brothers logo, and I said, hey, I'm going to make that around the wheel. And then I did some kind of weirdo lines over the top. And Caribou Coffee owns Einstein and Panera. They're all part of the same company or something. Pablo Escobar, just wanted a signature iconic red Coke can going around the truck, and so it's definitely a fire red pops, and that's the Colombian flag there. Uses the red. Probably should have put a white outline around that flag above the name, but I Buy Power. This one actually makes sense on his truck. And then Café de Colombia down there. This is just an exact replica of Michael Waltrip's Citgo, because it's tough to come up with 40 unique paint schemes. So, I mean, I gotta use some inspiration from real world. I'd go insane. And it's just there's nothing special on this truck other than it being Michael Waltrip's Citgo from '97. Edward Scissorhands, great clips, because he was cutting hair in the movie. And then Icy, because he was making ice sculptures. Avon, because of the Avon lady in the movie. And then Four Seasons Total Landscaping down here, because he was also landscaping and cutting bushes and stuff. And the inspiration for this was one of Casey Kane's Great Clips trucks. But nothing else special going on there. This is just a carbon copy of Jeff Gordon, 1997. Nothing else going on here. John Wilkes Booth. His face really stands out when we're on the track. I think I forgot to put him under a certain shader that's in the template, but that's fine. Hank Hill. This is all... I think this was modeled after a company truck, but not exactly in the show. But a bunch of show references here. Dale's Dead Bug, Mega Lomart, Manitoba Cigarettes. I was thinking about making a Manitoba Cigarettes paint scheme or alternate paint scheme. because I could have some fun with this triangle coming down or something, but whatever. And then taste the meat, not the heat. Slogan up there. Nothing else special going on. And you'll see these the names. I had like 5 or 6 fonts, and I just cycled through them and just used, because again, 40 different trucks. I'm gonna find 40 different ways to type names. Like you can't do that. But some have signatures, like prominent people. I found their signatures online and just grabbed it. If you're familiar with Pittsburgh, a lot of Pittsburgh references on this, like I did with Mr. Rogers. That's pretty much it. And he's also gonna have a white one. He's gonna have a white truck later in the season. And so we'll have Doc Holliday, Dorothy, and Rod Woodson have alternate paint schemes, and then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has an alternate paint scheme. And those are the only alternate paint schemes I have going on right now. I might come up with more. I forget where I got this design for Fleetwood Mac. This was one of the later trucks I made, and probably could have had some more fun with some Ocean Spray, because there was that viral video that came out during the COVID summer with that guy skateboarding, and that song he was singing was from Rumors, the album, which is that's what this is. This is the Rumors album cover, which I consider one of the best albums going. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a lot of LA references here. KTLA, Camp Skyhook, that's his foundation. Staples for Staples Centers. Wish, that's the sponsor on the Lakers uniform. NBA. It is what it is. He's wearing his pilot uniform from the movie Airplane, and his paint scheme will get flipped later this season somewhere. Have some fun with that. Oscar the Grouch, this is another one of those Chevy Price designs. And he's got Sesame Street going on, PBS, Waste Management. I mean, it makes perfect sense. It's really, everything came together with that idea. Willy Wonka. This was by no means a field filler. I just always wanted to put Willy Wonka, and I didn't want to mimic the paint scheme I had made for our one season I did a couple seasons ago. And this was, the inspiration for this was the splash on Michael Waltrip's Kool-Aid car. And speaking of Kool-Aid, I was gonna have this be what's his name? Jim Jones from Jonestown, where the saying drinking the Kool-Aid comes from. But 2 facts about that. One, it wasn't Kool-Aid. It was called something else. It wasn't called Kool-Aid. And then B, a cult killing themselves. It seems like it's... but a lot of them were forced to do it against their will. Like, they were in there, and yeah, a cult, you're following a leader and stuff, but the more I read about it, the more it just didn't feel right using that paint scheme, because once I learned that people were basically murdered, it's not good stuff. Anyway, back to our video. John Denver, this is the Sterling Marlin truck. And just put a West Virginia Take Me Home Country Roads, put that on there, but that's pretty much it. And I had to draw, I made these mountains. I mean, it's tough to find some good high quality mountain decals from Sterling Marlin's car from 20 years ago, so I just made it. Billy Ocean, I think I just came up with this paint scheme out of nowhere. Blue Coral, just because Ocean. And Caribbean Dreams, I think that's like a T or something, I don't know, but I found that logo and I used it. And then Get Out of My Dreams, get into my truck up there. And then Sandal, he's from Jamaica, so Sandal's Jamaica. That's pretty much it there. And I actually made a video showing how I made this paint scheme, and this is the Superflow truck from Days O Thunder. And all the decals, I could go through it in the video, all the decals pretty much match what was going on that truck. Dwight Schrute, a lot of Office references here. Wilkes-Barre Scranton, I had to sneak that. That's the Pittsburgh Penguins minor league team. I had to put that on there. And then Advanced Refrigeration, Froggy, Diners Club. There was a joke in the show. Dunder Mifflin, Associate, and then Sharper Image. I can't remember who had suggested me putting on there because I was looking for a bed decal and it was a perfect fit. True Farms, and I might put him in the Dunder Mifflin truck for a while this season. This is a Jimmy Johnson truck, and it's Bob Vila. And just a spoiler alert for next season, Die Hard is going to be John McClane, Lieutenant John McClane from the Die Hard movies. He'll be in a Die Hard truck for our next season. Because I thought of that idea after I already made this one. I was like, man, I like the idea of Bob Vila in a truck. Can't have two Die Hard trucks, so we'll wait a year for John McClane. Mountain Dew Code Red. Code Red, obviously a reference from A Few Good Men. And they actually drink, there's actually some Yoo-Hoo references in the movie, so I put that there. He's got the American flag everywhere. America #1. And as I've mentioned, I think a couple times, this is just a solid, this just pops. It's a nice paint scheme. And I forget where I got the, I don't think I came up with it. I might have copied it from somewhere. From a real world thing and kind of modified it. But anything I took from somebody, I asked for their permission and then put a little attribution on the spoiler. Turd Ferguson. This is Ken Schrader from 1997 because I made the 1997 car set, so I have all these paint schemes there. So whenever I'm just running low on just brain fumes, I go into that folder looking for some inspiration, and then the main thing here is Turd Ferguson. That's actually supposed to be what his name looks like on the Jeopardy board, but that's it there. We're getting close to the end here. Mr. Miyagi, Turtle Wax, Wax On, Wax Off, if you've seen Karate Kid. Minute Maid and Sprite, I think I went to a product placement website that lists product placement in movies, and Ralph Macchio was drinking a Sprite, I guess, in the movie, and then I got a bonsai tree cutting off the lines on the side. And I got his name in Japanese there too. Alex Trebek, I got his name in the the Jeopardy clue font, Jeopardy answer font. I guess no reason why combo. I have no idea why I put combos there, but this blue was supposed to look like the Jeopardy blue, and I wasn't able to get it to match exactly, but whatever. Nothing else going on there. Gritty from Philadelphia, so a bunch of Philadelphia things. Comcast Philadelphia cream cheese, which I was thinking of making this his sponsor instead of Flyers, but I didn't have a nice orange truck yet, so I decided to go with that. Patty's Irish Pub from It's Always Sunny, and then Four Seasons, another Four Seasons Total Landscaping reference, and then NHL '94. I had to go on YouTube and find the Philadelphia Flyers game someone was playing, and then take a screenshot and then really upscale it to fit on these high quality templates. So that's why it's all fuzzy. And then Gritty in the truck there, nothing else going on. Macho Man and Hogan, these are just flipped paint schemes. And just got the Oh Yeah here, Slim Jim, the old WWF logo, and then the World Wildlife Fund, which is why they had to change it from WWF. And then Ico Pro is that supplement company that Vince McMahon tried to run, or tried to get up, and then and then the Hogan, everything's flipped, and instead of Slim Jim, I had to make some moves, put that on the back. Oh, this was a Chevy Price design paint scheme, and then Hollywood Video because of Hollywood Hogan, and then Hulk rolls, and I put the championship belt on him. I forgot I did that. And then finally, Marie Antoinette, Let Them Eat Cake. Inspiration for that. And I Buy Power might fit in there. And French's. I think French's was the very last decal I put on any truck. Because I was eating, I forget what I was doing. I was like, oh, French's. Hey, let's put that on her truck. And then the French flag there. And there you go. And then you've seen all of the placards and everything on Pit Road. Had some fun with some of those, but didn't really worry too much about the actual pit crews. And that's pretty much it. All right. no way to end this video, because this is exactly what I was going to do with this video. So I hope you've been enjoying the season, and that's it. Thanks for watching.